The training style of every strong athlete out there has one thing in common. All of them use intuition. They know exactly how intuition works and they know exactly how to use it for their advantage. So in today's video, I will explain to you exactly everything you need to know for intuition training. The problem with how most people train is they follow two directions. Either they follow the path of I have one training plan, one program, and I train it and force it every day no matter how I feel. Or they follow the direction of I only train by my feeling, and then they end up being in a total chaos because they have no direction in their trainings. So what will happen is, in both directions, you won't make the progress you want to make because you limit yourself, or you will just injure yourself. So what we need to do is, we need to add intuition to a structure. I call training intuition also structured flexibility because I think it explains this pretty well. Structured flexibility means you follow a structure and you can be flexible with it because you change it every training. So that means you have one structure in your training that you know from previous trainings that it works because you follow certain principles of gaining strength, and you add it with your intuition. That means when you have, for example, one combination in your training, you do the combination every training, but in each session, you change it a little bit because in each session you feel different, and this is called intuition. So, flexible structure. So the problem with strict programs to follow is that the program that is strict will never know how you slept on a day, how your nervous system can adapt on a day, and also how you feel on a day. So each session, and you know this by yourself, you know that sometimes you feel very great in a session and you hit every set new PRs, and on other sessions you just feel weak and you feel like you just started training. So we need to delete those strict programs from our minds. We never use strict programs again because the program doesn't know how we feel. But we also do not train only based on our feeling, because when we only train based on our feeling, we have no direction, we have no certain goal, we have nothing to follow. So the best method is, like I said, follow a structure and add your intuition to it. So flexible structure is the key. Okay, so now we know that adding intuition, adding flexibility to your structure is the key to a perfect training. But this is not everything about intuition. Intuition is not only about how you can change the program itself. Intuition is also about your frequency, so how often a week you should train. A big mistake many people do is they have a program and they train on specific days because the program tells it so. So for example, on Monday they do a rest day, on Tuesday and Wednesday they train. But maybe you will feel on a Monday really strong and on a Wednesday or on a Tuesday you feel very weak when you should actually train. So the best thing to do is you do your intuition. Because why should you rest on a day where you feel really strong, and why should you train on a day where you feel really weak? So set a rough number of how often a week you should train, for example 4 to 6 times, and based on that you will do your workouts. For example, on a Monday when you feel very weak you can rest. On a Tuesday when you feel very strong you can do a big volume training. On a Wednesday where you feel weak, or let's say you feel mid, then you can do just a conditioning training. And in order to know how you feel on a day and how to use your intuition, you can just really pay attention to the first sets of your normal workout. So start your training, do the first set, and then really pay attention to how you feel, how you can execute the combination or the exercise you're doing. And when you feel like it's really easy for you and you feel really strong, then you can push to your limits, you can do a high volume training, you can even do normal combinations more difficult with your intuition. But when you feel like the first sets feel really hard and it's very difficult for you to perform then just maybe do a rest day. Maybe just do lower volume on a day. Or maybe just do a conditioning day. So to sum that up, you do not have to follow my advice, but this is what worked for me and this is what worked for all of my students. Build a structure that suits your average level and combine it with your intuition. Add your intuition to it. What I do, for example, is I have a combination in my training, 2 push-ups and then 3 presses. When I feel very strong on a day, I could maybe go for 4 push-ups and then the 3 presses. When I feel pretty weak on a day, I could do only 1 set, for example, instead of 3 sets. I could also do only 1 push-up instead of 3 push-ups and then the 3 presses. I could even change the focus to more balance, so I could do a press and then a one-arm handstand if I feel like that. So if you only take one thing away from this video today, then build a structure and do not follow it strictly every day and add your intuition to the structure. When you follow this advice, you will have always the best out of your workouts, even if you have a bad day. Alright, that's it with the video for today. I really hope I could help you and you learned something new today. If you have any questions, if anything wasn't clear, just hit me up with a message on Instagram. I reply to everything, or just comment it here. And if you feel like you want to bring your progress to the next level and a YouTube video isn't enough for that, then make sure to hit me out with a message on Instagram to work one-on-one with me.